What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Asia Rugby Live with me, Rod. Real Talk, Real Rugby, where we have real talks about real rugby with real rugby people. What's up? I just made it up. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Asia Rugby Live Facebook, YouTube page, and also our Instagram. Don't forget where's the button? There you go. Like, subscribe, and press on the notification button. Should we have new contents, you'll receive new notification from us, and we have tons of contents for you guys to enjoy. Anyway, hope everyone is doing all right wherever you are. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Yeah, anyway. So a bit of rugby news before we start. Of course, today we are talking about road to the Olympics, and Olympics is being postponed to next year because of the situation that we are in. First of all, we would like to congratulate Iran and Laos as they were accepted as World Rugby full members, and also congratulations to Nepal for being an associate member of World Rugby. So congratulations to these three countries, Iran, Laos, and Nepal. We trust that they are doing well, and of course, in terms of development, they will strive further, and there's a lot of support that Asia Rugby will give to them for them to grow bigger, definitely. And shout out to the president of Asia Rugby, Mr. Kais Abdullah Al-Dalai, as this is his first 1-year anniversary as the president of Asia Rugby, and we trust the president will, with his leadership, will take Asia Rugby to great heights. Again, congratulations and happy anniversary to Mr. Kais Abdullah Al-Dalai. Assalamualaikum, Mr. President. Anyway, today we have a lot of guests. I think this is like the record guests that we have in an episode. So we have people from Japan and also from China. The first one, I would like to introduce you to Akane Kagawa, the manager of the Japan Women's Sevens team. Akane, konnichiwa, or did I say it right? And also with Akane is a very important person. So Japan Rugby provided Akane with a translator. That's Fumi. What's up? So Akane, how are you? And can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
はい。ハロー、こんばんは、こんにちは。私の名前は香川茜と言います。女子の日本のセブンスの代表チームのマネージャーをしてます。
So hi everyone, my name is Akane Kagawa and I'm a team manager for the Japan Women's Sevens national team.
Okay, can you take us through your rugby journey? How did you become the manager of the Japan Women's Sevens team? And did you play some rugby last time when during your younger days?
私は、ラグビー一家に生まれて、ラグビーを見るのがすごく好きでした、小さな頃から。両親にラグビーの試合を見に連れて行ってもらって、本当に試合を見るのがすごく大好きで、大学を卒業した後に、ラグビー協会、日本ラグビー協会に、就職しました。
Well, I actually grew up in a rugby family, and in my childhood, I had a lot of occasion to go and watch rugby with my parents at the stadium, and I really loved watching rugby. So after I graduated from the university and experienced several different jobs, I joined the Japan Rugby Football Union.
That's great. Thank you for being here, Akane and Fumi. Thank you, Fumi, for translating that, and arigatou gozaimasu. Next person I would like to introduce to everyone, to our audience, is the thorns among the roses, the only thorn today, the only guy amongst our panelists today, Euan Mackintosh, the head coach of the women's China Sevens team. Euan, how are you? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, and do you miss eating haggis?
Yeah, obviously originally from Scotland. I've been in China now just over a year and a half. Bit of a long journey to get here from played rugby since I was probably able to walk in Scotland. Was fortunate enough to have played in Australia, New Zealand, France, and ended up coaching pretty young. Unfortunately, I had to stop playing about 26 from injury, and ended up coaching in France for a few years, and then moved to New Zealand in 2017. Coached over there full time for the last couple of years, and then got the opportunity to come over to China in March last year.
So, how's the journey so far for you in China? Are you adapting well?
Yeah, last year was a little bit easier. We were in and out the country with being on the World Series and then the Asian Series on the build into the qualification for the Olympics. Then after that, we ended up in New Zealand for about 3 months. And when COVID hit, we were still in New Zealand. We stayed there for a bit longer than planned. And then March, we came back as a team into China and have been in in China since March. And this has been the longest stint straight time in China. So it's been an interesting experience. It's obviously very different from those other countries I've had the opportunity to live in, but spent a lot of time with the team, and that keeps me taking over. So it's all good.
So, how's your Mandarin so far? Is it good?
That's it.
How's your Mandarin? How's your Mandarin so far? Is it good now?
Better than my English. You can ask Chen Keyi how my Mandarin is, but it's impressive, I would say.
Okay, cool. Cool. The next person I would like to introduce you is the player of the China Sevens women's team, Chen Keyi. Ni hao ma, Chen Keyi. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Oh, no voice, Chen Keyi. Keyi, can you turn on your microphone? Can you turn on your microphone? I think the microphone button.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Yes. There you go. Okay. Anyway, yeah, continue. Ni hao ma.
你好吗? Okay. So
How?
I'm Chen Keyi. I play for China Women's Sevens team, and I play rugby from 14, and before that I was a sprinter. Because when I was a child, I easy to get sick, so my family sent me to run, and for 5 years. After that, I tried many sports and like shooting, and cycling, and hockey. Yeah. And one day, a rugby coach found me, and he showed me a video, and that video, the passion in that video, infected me. So made my final decision to play rugby. This is how I started to play rugby.
Great story, Keyi. Thank you for being here with us. 谢谢. And the last person I would like to introduce to you guys is the communications manager of China Rugby, Wang Xizi, or also known as Anna. So, Anna, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hi, good evening, everyone. I am Anna from China, and this is like the second year for me to be in CRFA and to be in this rugby industry. And it's a great opportunity for me to be in this live show tonight. And I hope everybody can enjoy the show.
Yeah, of course, we enjoy the show. And thank you for being here, Anna. To our viewers out there, Anna is a very important person for China Rugby. So yeah, look out for her if you ever in China, if you want to play rugby. Anyway, first question I would like to ask Akane. So Akane, can you tell us the 7 values of Sakura Sevens?
Okay. 私たちの日本ラグビー協会の、ロゴマークがこの桜のマーク、こっちか。桜のマークなんですけど、ここに逆だ。これだ。桜のマークです。で、桜のロゴマークは、日本の桜の花を表していて、その華やかさと同時に、短い間に桜の花が咲くという潔さ、 華やかさと潔さを桜の花は表しています。で、女子の代表チームは桜セブンズというニックネームがあって、その、桜の花の持つ名前と印象を、表すことになってますと。で、7つのルール。1つ目は思いやり。関わるすべての人を大切にして喜びを分かち合うこと。で、2番目が感謝。心のから感謝の気持ちを人に伝えること。で、3番目が敬意。対戦相手、仲間に最大の敬意を払って全力で戦うこと。で、4番目がプライド、誇り。日本代表チームの一員であることを誇りに持って戦うこと。で、4番目に礼儀。振る舞いをわきまえて代表チームとしての秩序を維持する。で、最後にはハーモニーで、これはチームワークを大切にするという、7つのルールがあります。これはラグビーをするのにあたって、ラグビーのピッチの上のパフォーマンスだけじゃなくて、ピッチの上で良いパフォーマンスをするためには、日常の生活から、振る舞いを大切にすることが重要なんじゃないかということで、選手が自分たちでこの7つのルールを考えました。で、私たちはこの7つのルールをしっかり守って、オリンピックで、ピッチの上だけじゃなくて、ピッチ以外のところでも世界一になれるように、日々努力してます。
Okay, first of all, I'd like to mention about the logo of Japan Rugby Football Union. As you can see on our chart here, our union logo is a cherry blossom, as you know, and cherry blossom is very beautiful, as you know, but it doesn't last long. You know, once they bloom, they just gone for a very short time of the period. So all of those flowers will make effort to be the best during that they are blooming. So we are just having that image in our team as well. So the cherry blossom represent what we'd like to achieve as a team. And to achieve what we'd like to do as a team, we have a 7 rule in our team. The first one is self-management, which means to keep your best condition as an athlete. Second is a consideration, which means to embrace all the people surrounding you and share the joy with them. The third one is gratitude, which means to possess a hearty gratitude and address it to others. And the fourth one is respect, which means to pay the highest respect to both your opponent and your teammate, and put your 100% effort when you play with them. Fifth one is pride, which means to have a pride on being a part of the Japan national team. And the next one is manner, or should I say decency maybe, means to understand your behavior and maintain the integrity of the national team. And the last one is harmony, which means to put value on teamwork. And for us to perform well in the game of rugby, it is required for the players not only to train hard, but also put value on their attitudes as a national representative player on and off the field. Therefore, both our players and staff always have these rules in their mind and try to implement them on an everyday basis. As a representative of Japan, we'd like to be top in the world on and off the field. And to achieve that, we're determined to make our best effort for the Tokyo 2020 with these 7 rules. Thank you.
Definitely, with all the values, I'm sure that the Olympics in Tokyo is something that everyone is looking forward to, especially teams like China, as you can attest to that, and probably you can take us through the improvement of China rugby through your eyes that you have seen before.
Yeah, obviously I came in last year. We were on the World Series. We came in March last year. and just watching the group grow right through till obviously our initial goal was to qualify for Tokyo. And it was an interesting journey that period, being World Series and Asian Series, and getting to know I guess the big thing for us was coming into a new culture and then getting to know the girls themselves and China. So that was a pretty interesting journey from our point of view, coming in to a completely new environment and trying to actually build something with a special group of people and achieve that initial goal of qualifying for the Olympics. Since then, as it has been for most teams around the world, it's obviously been a bit of a difficult period for a lot of teams. So we haven't had a lot of competition since March. But we've been very lucky, and as you can see those videos just now, we've actually managed to stay together as a team since we came back to China in March. And obviously our focus is still preparing ourselves for the Olympics next year. So pretty exciting time for us just to keep focusing on those training goals and looking forward to Tokyo.
You mentioned do you have a team with you when you came into the setup of the coaching setup to the China rugby team?
Yeah, when we came in last year, the group of staff that we had, there was myself and another coach and S&C physio and an assistant S&C. So we had a group of, there was 5 foreign staff initially last year. And obviously since COVID, there's been a few changes, but we currently on the ground have myself, physio Cara and from New Zealand, Albert from New Zealand, and Massi from Italy. So that's a group of foreign staff, and we've got a great support staff of Chinese staff as well.
Yeah, for sure. You need staff that you can work together, that you can work together to prepare the team, right? Anyway, next question is for Keyi. Keyi, can you tell us, how does it feel that you're going to play in the Olympics, the biggest stage, one of the biggest stage for rugby sevens?
Okay. Yeah. First, I feel very excited, and I feel honored. I have many old teammates. They don't get this opportunity to play Olympics, and they all training hard. I want to respect them, and I want to inspire more young girls to join us play this rugby. So I think this Olympic is meaning a lot for our team, because this is the first time we can play Olympic.
You must be really proud that you're going to play in the Olympics, right, Keyi?
Yes.
Anyway, next question is for Aina. Aina, can you share with us about the rugby development program in China?
Our Chinese women's sevens team qualified for Tokyo Olympic last year, and it's a historic moment for China rugby, and we do want to seize the moment to develop rugby masses at the same time. So right now we are promoting the program from World Rugby and Asia Rugby at the same time, and we try to develop school rugby and club rugby at the same time. I think for the development system, we have 2 departments in CRFA of the competitions and development and training.
And talking about development in China, right? Do you see having more players, developing more players in the future?
Yeah, of course. Right now we have national tournaments, not only for the women's sevens and men's sevens, but also for the right now we have more courses in schools to play rugby and have beneficial political rules and regulations for the young players to get into the university. It's gonna help. It's gonna develop more players, bring more players to this.
Yeah, definitely. I think one thing about China that you guys have the population to develop. You guys have a lot of people to choose from, and I think from the numbers, that when people are getting involved, and China is a huge place with huge population, and I'm sure people like you and the head coach will be so happy to have headaches to choose players in the future. Right, Ewan? I would reckon so, right?
Yeah, it's definitely the potential here is huge, and as Shiza just spoke about there's a lot of. I was actually really surprised coming to China. I didn't know an awful lot about the rugby setup before I came, but seeing the structures that have been put in place and the number of players that are actually playing the game, yeah, it's definitely an exciting time looking at the potential that China has. With obviously us qualifying for the Olympics for the first time, it opens up a lot of doors for us with regards to the promotion of rugby sevens here. And as Chen Keyi mentioned, just to inspire some younger female athletes to play a game that probably a lot of them don't even know exists. So it's a pretty exciting time.
In terms of sizing wise, do you reckon that China has the potential to have players that are physically ready to compete against the world stage?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we've already proved that even this year when we went to the Hamilton Sevens, and last year even the World Series, there was definitely opportunities. That was us showing what we could do at that point, and we feel that we've taken big steps forward since then. So yeah, 100%.
Great, man. I envy you guys with a whole lot of population. You're spoiled for choices, definitely. I would like to ask Akane. Akane, how does the success of the Rugby World Cup and also the men's sevens performance in the Rio Olympics 2016 impacted Sakura Sevens?
リオの、まずワールドカップ、昨年のワールドカップの時の、ジャパンの活躍は女子のラグビーにも大きな影響があって、人口も、女性のラグビープレイヤーの人口も増えてますし、子供たち、ラグビーに興味を持っている子供たちもどんどん増えてます。で、男子、前回のリオのオリンピックの男子の4位も、女子の代表チーム、女子の選手にも、とてもいい刺激になって、私たちも頑張らなくてはいけないなっていうふうに、日々思いながら練習してます。
Well, talking about the last year's Rugby World Cup in Japan first, of course, the huge success that the Japan men's 15-side team made during the tournament was a big effect for us as well. And thanks to their performance, we have a lot more players population in women's rugby here in Japan. And also we have a lot more children to start up playing rugby or interested in rugby comparing to the past. And if we talk about the last Olympic in Rio, as you know, Japan men's team made fourth in the ranking, one step more to the medals. And that result was also really good motivation for us. So we just want to follow them and to achieve something that we can do for the next Olympic.
Probably, Akane, I would like to ask you, probably you can elaborate more on the Japan way of training, of rugby training, the Japan way of rugby training. You guys believe in hard work, believe in putting in the hours, believe in extra training to be the fittest players. Can you elaborate more on that?
どうとかな。代表、トレーニングでは、そういうハードな練習、精神的にハードなトレーニングもやりますし、もう少し科学的に必要だと思うトレーニングも両方今は混ぜて やってます。昔は結構精神的なメンタルのトレーニングも多かったんですけれども、今はもっと科学的な根拠に基づいて、トレーニングをプランニングして強化を進めてます。
Yeah, as you said, we have been doing very hard work in our training, I think, to be fit. And in the past, our team intended to do heavy training in mentally. However, now we are trying to have a balance between the hard training in the mental aspect and also the hard training which have the kind of scientific approach, because we want to make a achievement, or we want to have the certain amount of result through our tournament. So we are planning our training with some scientific evidence to be better as a team.
Wow, that's great. I mean, I think teams like China as well have integrated sports science into the training, Euan. Probably you can elaborate on that later, but I would like to call upon our audience. If you have any questions for any of our panelists today, you can ask Akane, Euan, Keyi, and Anna anything that you guys want, anything that you are curious about Japan rugby, about China rugby. These guys are happy to answer your questions. The next question I would like to ask Keyi. Keyi, when the China team, when your team play against Japan, do you look forward to it, or is it very hard?
I need Anna's help. Sorry.
Yeah, Anna, can you translate that?
他是说，就是和日本队打比赛的时候，你觉得你就是非常想要赢吗？或者什么样的情绪？
我们不光和日本打比赛吧，我们和每个队伍打比赛，我们其实都是想赢的。然后，可能因为我们都在亚，说我们可能交手的机会比较多，我们和日本，然后我们也一直在跟他们交手的，比赛中我们一直在成长。我觉得我们是在相互进步、相互促进的过程。我们还是两个队伍都很有希望的，很值得一打。
So I'm gonna translate it in Japan with also other, but when we are playing with other countries, we want, no matter which team it is. I think that since China and Japan are both in Asia, so we have a lot of chances to compete. We have a lot of tournaments together, so it's gonna help us to develop, to grow up, and she thinks that we are helping each other to grow.
Yeah, I think 100%. Probably you would agree to that as well. Probably you can elaborate a little bit more on, as Japan, we can say that Japan is at least a tier 1 or tier 2 team right now for women's rugby sevens. So with Japan in a part of Asia, so does that help China women's rugby to improve further?
Yeah, definitely. Last year on the Asian series is a perfect example of that competition between the two teams being a healthy competition for both teams to push forward. Obviously, rugby is developing in Asia pretty quickly, but the gap between Japan and China and some of the other nations, not being disrespectful, but there's a large gap, whereas for us to push each other forward and have that healthy competition is really, really vital to both teams progressing in world rugby. And as you can see on the World Series, as we're saying, both teams have had some pretty impressive results against other teams in the world that have been known for being stronger team in the world in women's sevens. So for both of us to be able to push each other forward and then on that world stage cause a few upsets is a big bonus to us having each other to help each other out.
Do you have problems adapting to to the Asia way of doing things? Because before this, you were in France, you were in you were in the UK, then you were in New Zealand. So transitioning from that to the Asian way of doing things, and of course, you know how Asians are in terms of we are hardworking, we go back home late from the office and all that. So in terms of work ethics, so did you have problems trying to adapt to the current I would say current way of doing things?
Yeah, good question. I think it's fascinating going into different countries and seeing how things work culturally. And I think you can go on holiday anyway, but you don't really get a feel for a place until you live there properly. And yeah, there's definitely been I guess initially it was trying to understand a lot of the principles behind doing things. Different countries do things different ways, but ultimately rugby across the world, there's a lot of things that are transferable and that don't change. Probably the biggest thing for us is being open-minded. So coming into a country and respecting culture has got to be the first thing. So it's easy to come in being from Scotland and trying to put your stamp on things and do things your way. But if you don't respect the culture of the country you're working in, you're never going to move forward. So I think that's got to be the fundamental part of it. I'm just laughing at some of these videos that are coming on just now from some of our trainings, but I'd say that's key to it. Working, and as I say, there's a big difference obviously in Asian culture and then within different countries within Asia itself. So being open-minded, listening to the players, listening to the staff that we've got around us with regards to how things work here, and then hoping that there's a balance struck between the different cultures and different mindsets.
Are the guys happy to learn new things from you, Euan?
Oh, I don't know about Chen Keyi, but the rest of them don't. That's, to be honest, that's been one of the most pleasing parts about this job. Obviously, being here, I've pretty much now been about 19 months with the team, and pretty much 6 days a week. And it's been an amazing experience working with the athletes themselves, who have been extremely open-minded to different philosophies on training. And just environment side of things as well. So that's been probably most rewarding part of the job, has been watching the athletes grow on the field, but also off the field, I would say.
Anna, can you share with us the benchmark or the standard for Chinese rugby?
Pardon, please, benchmark.
Can you share with the benchmark or standards for Chinese rugby? Yeah.
The what for Chinese rugby? The best part.
Benchmark or the standard for Chinese rugby?
Standard for like what?
In terms of performance, in terms of development, performance and development. Let's say if you talk about high level performance and also the development part of Chinese rugby, can you share with us the benchmark?
The question is, what is the standard for us with the develop high performance work and development work? Is that?
Yeah, okay. No, in terms of where are you guys heading to? Are you guys do you guys want to be one of the best in the world for sevens? Same standard like Japan, things like that. Is that where China rugby is heading to?
Actually, right now, as we have the experience to be qualified for of course, our athletic rugby wants to go to a higher level, and we do want to have a really good result in the Olympic.
And in terms of the Olympic, how did the whole of the China Rugby administration reacted to when China managed to qualify for the Olympics?
I think this qualification really inspired a lot of people in China. Like COC was impressed, and of rugby people who's like playing rugby, who's working for rugby, they are all impressed and they're honored. They are proud of this team rugby, and everything is gonna be a great chance to be in this kind of situation. COC is helping us a lot. They support us with the logistics of the team and a lot of political.
Talking about the Olympics, Tokyo Olympics next year, Akane, what's the target for your team for next year's Olympic?
私たちの目標は、メダル獲得、金メダル獲得することです。
Yep, of course, our target is to get a medal. The color should be gold.
Oh, gold medal! Wow, that's great. That's great.
Yep.
And what about Euan? What about you guys? What about China? What's the target for you
We'll
guys?
see them in the final.
Come again?
We'll see them in the final.
So okay, you know what? Okay, probably both of you guys can discuss here, since the tournament is taking place next year. Do you guys have like plans to meet each other and have a preparation with each other or spar against each other or like a mini tournament kind of thing? Do you guys have that place in plans for you guys?
At the moment, the big problem across the world is obviously COVID. So there's everybody, I think, would have their own plans around what would be the perfect build into Tokyo, but we're obviously restricted by what's happening at the moment. So we're currently waiting to hear from World Rugby around a few restrictions and what potential opportunities there are for us to have any competitions between now and Tokyo. So we're very open-minded to what that might look like and with what different teams might be available to have those competitions.
And in terms of when you say that you guys can't travel, how about internally? Are you guys gonna have like tournaments internally to prepare the team?
Yeah, so currently we just had one of the provincials, so all of our players went back to their province about a month ago, and we've got another one scheduled for mid-December, and then after that, going into next year, depending on obviously if we're stuck in China and we can't get any competition outside of China or teams into China to play internationally, then we'll definitely be looking to create our own internal format, get some competition between now and Tokyo.
How about you guys, Akane? How's the preparation like for the Japan team? Is there any plans that has been put in place for you guys to at least play internally against the teams in Japan?
11月の29日に、今月の最後の週末に、セレクションマッチを行います。セレクションマッチを行います。で、オリンピックに向けては、もし可能であれば、このコロナの状況が落ち着いてくれば、できれば海外に遠征に行きたいと思ってますけれども、それがもしできない場合は、国内のチームや男子のチームと練習試合をしたいと思ってます。
Yep. Actually, we will have selection match for the Olympic on November 29th, which is within 2 weeks. So we are very excited about the selection match. And for the Olympics next year, if possible, we of course would like to make some international tour to train the team, but it will of course depending on what the status of COVID-19 is going to be. So if we can't travel abroad, we will have another plan to do some warm-up matches with some domestic sevens team or men's team.
Oh, that's great. At least you guys have, both of you guys Euan and also Akane, you guys have some plans that being put into place to prepare yourself for the Olympics. And of course, we all know that the Olympics is like the biggest stage. You guys are going to play against the the best team from around the world, and that needs a lot of preparation. I think we have a question from Facebook, and probably this question is for Anna. Okay, let us see the question. Okay, yeah. Question for the guests. I think this is for Anna. Please tell us about the Unstoppable program. Yeah, Anna. And I'm sure you are.
For the Unstoppable program, I think this year we have the Unstoppable program from World Rugby and Asia Rugby at the same time. Actually, I'm not the one who's in charge of the Unstoppable program of CRFA. We have a development and training department, which is in charge of this program.
Oh yeah, probably Akane. You can answer that about the Unstoppable program in Japan.
あれですね。その
あさみさんがやってるやつ。
女子の、
女子の、はい、この前アジアラグビーと一緒に候補者を選んだりとか、写真を撮って Facebook に上げたりとか。
今、女子のラグビーの方で、アンストッパブルプログラムを進めてます。この間は、先日は15人制の女子の代表チームのトレーニングセッションの時に、集合写真を撮って、ラグビーが、日本でも行われ、女子のラグビーが日本でも、勢いよく頑張ってるっていうところを見せたりですとか、あとは、日本から何人かその代表の選手をアジア協会の方に推薦させていただいて、アジアのラグビーの普及に貢献したいと思ってます。
Yeah, recently, of course, our union have been also developing our own Unstoppable program promotion. And recently, our women's 15-a-side team did a training camp. And at that time, we took a picture of the team assembly and then put them on the SNS to showcase, our rugby is here. And we also picked up several rugby players or several female who are involved in our rugby to the program, which are now under construction by Asia Rugby, so that we can
Can you
also
repeat that again?
support.
Yeah? For me, can you repeat that again for me?
Yeah.
Your
Okay.
connection is intermittent, I reckon.
I repeat.
1 second.
Okay. I start from the beginning.
For me, can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, okay, yeah. Can you repeat that again? Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. So, of course, the JRFU is also working on our own Unstoppable program. And recently, our women's 15-a-side national team.
Your connection is intermittent. It's actually being cut bit by bit. Can hear you bits and pieces.
Okay.
Can you probably try one more time? The thing is, guys, to our audience, we have to apologize. Connection, at these places, some of these places are intermittent. It's not that they're not good. The connection is good. It's just that the connections is intermittent at some places. So yeah, apologies from us to you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Akane, are you there? Can you say 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
Sorry, Fumi.
Yes.
Can you?
I'm with you.
Okay, yeah, I think your connection is still intermittent.
I can hear you well.
It's coming through good for us as well. We can hear
well.
everything perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
sorry. Can you repeat that again?
Yeah. So the Japan Rugby Football Union is also working on our own Unstoppable program. And most recently, our women's 15-a-side national team had a training session, and at that time we took a picture of the team assembly, and we put that picture on our SNS channel to showcase, our rugby is here, we are active. And we also picked up several female players for the Asian Rugby's Unstoppable program, so that we can also make some contribution to Asian Rugby's women's rugby promotion.
Rod, we can't hear you, mate. I can hear everybody else, but not you, Rod. Koya, can you sing us a song whilst we wait?
Yes,
Wow.
it's your turn.
Euan is gonna sing.
No,
It's
that's
Euan's turn.
Koya's been practicing her singing in English. Rod, we still can't hear
We
you,
can't
mate.
hear.
We can hear each other. Koya, can you ask Anna a question?
Of course. 安娜，你今天为什么这么漂亮？
Only in English here, please. Because if you speak in Chinese, Mandarin, or Japanese, I'm not going to understand anything.
Is it better now?
Yeah, I'm asking Anna why
He's
she's
back.
so pretty today.
Oh god.
Yeah, we can hear you right now.
Oh, now you've gone off
No.
again, Rod. You came back for a second. Koya, you're going to have to officially take over. You're going to have to ask everyone a question now.
Okay, it's gonna be
Wait, 1
MC.
second.
I hear you
Rod,
right
you're
now.
back.
Now, okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Ah, thank God. Sorry about that. I can hear you guys. I can hear everything that you guys say. Anyway, sorry about that. As
It's okay.
suddenly my laptop went bonkers. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for being with us. Akane, Fumi, Euan, Keyi, and Anna. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you for being with us tonight at Asia Rugby Live, and to our viewers, thank you very much for tuning in with us. I'm Rod. Till then, see you guys on Asia Rugby Live. Goodbye. Take care. Good night.